If you've been following the Tampa Bay real estate market lately and thinking, why does none of this feel clear? You're not alone and you're not wrong. The headlines are all over the place. One says the market's cooling, another says prices are holding, and then you'll see a headline that makes it sound like the market is crashing. A lot of that fear is tied to the foreclosure headlines, but when you actually look at the real numbers, it tells a very different story. In November, across Hillsborough, Pinellas, Pasco, and Hernando counties, only 21 single-family homes closed as bank-owned or REO sales out of more than 2,500 sales. That is not a market in distress, that's a market adjusting. Buyers, sellers, and even homeowners who aren't planning to move are all asking the same question. Is the market good, bad, or something else entirely? The conversations I'm having aren't filled with fear, they're filled with uncertainty. And in real estate, that is often what keeps people stuck. If we haven't met yet, I'm Tammy Bilder, your local Tampa Bay realtor, and I spend my days helping buyers and sellers navigate this market in real time. What we have right now is something different. So today, instead of reacting to loud headlines, I'm going to walk you through exactly what the data says, what it doesn't say, and how to think about the Tampa Bay real estate market as we head into 2026. Specifically, we're breaking down data from the most recent data available to us from our local realtor association, which pulls directly from MLS activity across Hillsborough, Pinellas, Pasco, and Hernando County. While this data lags slightly in time, November in this case, it does give us the most accurate picture because it's based on real closed transactions. Now, before we talk about the market, we have to address the elephant in the room. In Florida right now, you cannot talk about real estate as one single story. The single-family home market and the condo and townhome market are behaving very differently. Let's start with single-family homes. Across the four-county Tampa Bay area, the median sales price for single-family homes is about $399,900, which is 1.5% dip year over year. That tells us this segment has remained relatively resilient and that this is not a market crash by any means. Condos and townhomes, however, are a different story. The median condo price is down about 12% year over year, landing around $255,000. And inventory tells an even clearer story. Single-family homes are sitting at about 3.8 months supply, while condos and townhomes have climbed to roughly a 6.6 month supply. So what's driving the gap? A combination of rising HOA fees, higher insurance costs, and new state requirements around building safety inspections and reserve funding have made condo ownership more complex than it used to be. So heading into 2026, if you're shopping for a condo, you're generally in a stronger negotiating position. If you're shopping for a single family home, well, it could still be more of a tug of war. So now let's look at the numbers that tend to drive the headline. Right now, across Hillsborough, Pinellas, Pasco, and Hernando counties, there are approximately 12,505 active single family listings, which is about 8.7% higher from this time last year. At first glance, that sounds like a lot of for sale signs, but here's the key number. We're still sitting at a 3.8 month supply of single family inventory, a truly balanced market where neither seller nor buyers have a clear advantage. Typically sits closer to 5 months of supply. So technically, from a data standpoint, the single family market is still slightly seller leaning. What's also important is what kind of inventory we're seeing. New single family listings were down more than 27% this November compared to last year. Many homeowners are holding on to historically low interest rates, which is keeping the supply of well-maintained, moved-in ready homes tighter than people expect, even though total inventory is higher. This is where the market really starts to separate. Not every price range is behaving the same way. The most active part of the Tampa Bay market right now is the $300,000 to $600,000 price range. In November alone, 1,546 single-family homes sold in that bracket, accounting for a huge chunk of the single-family sales. Homes in this range are typically going under contract in about 45 to 52 days. But once you cross that 1 million mark, behavior changes. Closed sales in the luxury segment are down about 15.8% year over year, and the median time to contract has stretched to around 77 days. Now at the entry level home price between $150,000 and $200,000, they're still moving very quickly with a median time to contract of 22 days. But these homes are smaller and often require significant updates. One of the biggest adjustments for sellers heading into 2026 is the understanding of speed. The median time for contract for a single-family home is now about 50 days, which is roughly a 28% increase from last year. If you remember the years when homes sold in a weekend or even sometimes within hours, I want to be very clear about something. That was an anomaly. A 50-day window to secure a buyer is actually a sign of a healthier, more sustainable market. It gives buyers time for inspection, insurance reviews, and proper due diligence. So if your home hasn't sold in 21 days, it doesn't mean the market has crashed. It usually means pricing or positioning needs adjustment. Buyers are savvy. They are seeing homes are selling for about 95% of the original list price on average, and they are negotiating accordingly. So how do you play this market moving forward? For buyers, this is the first time in years where you truly have some breathing room. You can compare homes, you can negotiate repairs and closing costs, and you can walk away when something doesn't make sense. But don't wait forever. Nearly 25% of all sales are still closing in cash, which means you're still competing with high equity buyers who aren't as sensitive to interest rates. For sellers, the market is rewarding realism. Buyers are still paying close to asking, about 95% on average, but only when homes are priced and presented correctly from day one. Deferred maintenance or aspirational pricing will push a home into the sitting inventory very quickly. So here's the real takeaway as we head into 2026. The Tampa Bay real estate market isn't crashing and it's not overheating either. It's more selective, more strategic, far more dependent on pricing, condition, location than it's been in years. This means the opportunity is still very real, but only if you understand how the market actually works. Buyers who know where they have leverage can make smart moves, and sellers who price correctly from day one are seeing strong results. But guessing, waiting, or relying on old rules, that's what's costing people time and money right now. And this is where broad headlines stop being helpful, because real estate decisions aren't made at the market level. They're made at the neighborhood level, the street level, and sometimes even the house by house level. If we haven't met yet, I'm Tammy Bilder with the Bilder Group-eXp Realty, and I help buyers and sellers across the Tampa Bay area make smart, informed decisions in this market. If you want clear, honest breakdown of what the market means for your situation, not the headlines, I'm always happy to help. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.